everyone, welcome back. So going to do a end of month haul video, but with a bit of a difference this month. So I picked up lots of tiles this month, more than I probably would normally. So yeah, and I've done a couple of pickups videos, yeah, sort of combined with either the Blu-ray hunts or yeah, just a general pickups video. So you guys, if you follow the channel, you've probably seen the majority of these already. So I thought, just to keep it a little bit more straightforward, and not to repeat myself over and over again, what I'll do is I'll try and get like a little video clip running down the side here of all the pickups I picked up in this month. So there'll be a few in there that I maybe hadn't done on video, just they've dropped through the post at the wrong time, before a video, just after a video. So you'll get to see everything. They'll all be on there, hopefully scrolling up, so you can take a look while what I'll do while I'm doing that, so you can pause and obviously have a look whenever you feel free. What I'll do when I do that is, yeah, anything that I've watched this month, that I kind of want to have a couple of cents on, I'll just take the time now at the end of the month to sort of review a few things, you know, and just give my 2 cents on them. So yeah, let's give this format a try. So yeah, pickups should be rolling on the side by now, and this is sort of like the highlights, I guess, for good or bad. This will be the highlights of what I've enjoyed watching this month. So the first one is the film I picked up with Kevin Bacon and Meryl Streep, The River Wild. I had a great time with this movie and whacked it on the big screen, and yeah, it was. I mean, it's no masterpiece, but it was. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. It was entertaining. John C. Reilly was in there. Sort of like a thriller adventure type movie on the sort of rapids. Yeah, fantastic. I thought that was really good. So yeah, I do log all these things on my letterbox, as I said previously. So if you want to know what I put down on there, go and follow me over there. I think I'm under Ash Movies, but if not, I'll leave it in the description down below. But yeah, this one I had a really good time with. It just hit me on the right night. I think it was a Saturday night or something, and I whacked it on. And yeah, just fun, entertaining, kind of old school thriller. It felt a little bit like borderline a family movie, but with a bit of an edge. So this is a 12 certificate. So yeah, it was a bit like, because it's got the guy or the kid who plays Timmy in Jurassic Park. He's in it as a young actor. So yeah, give it that sort of like family type movie feel, but with that slightly darker edge, with Kevin Bacon's performance in there, and a couple of other scenes that, you know, just push it over the PG rating. So yeah, I had a good time with that overall. So another one that I had probably more than a good time than I expected I was going to be fair, was a comedy I picked up. It's the one that come from that cash converters where the guy sort of sprayed the thing down and yeah, it took forever to sell it to me. But if you want to know more about that, go check out the previous video. It's all in there. This one, How to Lose Friends and Alienate People. Easy for me to say. Yeah, Simon Pegg stars. You got Kirsten Dunst in there. You got Megan Fox in there. I just had a good time with it. You know, it's not a perfect film by any means, but it had enough laughs in there for me to sort of like chuckle away for an hour and a half, and yeah, just enjoy the film for what it was. So yeah, if you haven't seen this one, or if you haven't seen it in a long time like I hadn't, I'd say it's worth going back to that one, just checking it out again now, because good cast in there, good few laughs. You know, you don't get them like that very often anymore. So now for a bit of a downer on this one. So I'm a big Robin Williams fan, and I picked this one up, like I said, on my video of pickups, you know, mainly based on that he was in it. It was RV. So yeah, I watched this one. He tried to carry the movie, bless him, is what I can say on this one. You know, it's a real family movie, but like a early 2000s, I think it was. I don't even know. Early 2000s, like, you know, this day and age, it would have gone straight to streaming. It would have been forgotten about in 2 minutes. But yeah, I mean, he did his best, bless him. There's a couple of laughs in it from him. There's one scene involving a sewage tank on the RV, which like got me laughing. But other than that, pretty bland, to be fair. So yeah, if you were looking at that one, don't don't invest too heavily in it if it's a pricey one out of print. I'd say try and find it somewhere to stream online if you can. Check it out first before you plunge in on that one. So this one, I don't think this one was actually in any of my pickups videos. This was a bit of so basically I went to a CEX while I was off some there. I picked up a few bits and bobs and went around the little town. And then on my way back to the car park, I had to go past the CEX again. So temptation had set in by that point, because I'd seen this on the side and it had a nice sort of glossy slip on it. I haven't seen it in the longest time. So I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'm just going to get it. I'm going to go in and pick it up. And that was The Core. Now, I like a big sort of disaster movie, a big sort of end of the world sort of scenario, Armageddon, all that jazz. And this is one I did see back in the day, and I don't remember being too impressed with it back in the day. I thought it was okay, one of these big Hollywood blockbuster type movies. Aaron Eckhart in it, Hilary Swank. So the cast's not too bad, but sadly, I think I enjoyed it just because I like these type of movies. If you've got, not as much interest in this type of movies to start with, probably don't worry. It's not the best movie in the world. 4K looks great though. And one thing I didn't realise, slight regret on this one. So this was £10 in CEX, and I don't often buy the sort of 4Ks. I normally try the Blu-rays first because that's where sort of the happy medium lies for me. But I assumed it came with the Blu-ray. My mistake. It clearly says on the top it's just 4K. So again, yeah, if you're thinking about picking this one up, just be aware it is only the 4K disc in there. There is no Blu-ray to go with it. But it hadn't had a previous Blu-ray to my knowledge in the UK anyway. So yeah, kind of glad to own it to some extent. I will go back to it, but it'll be a long time. I've got a little collection of sort of like disaster movies up the side there, so it just sits in there with them. So another one I hadn't seen in many, many, many years, and I think James over at Movie Mad pointed this one out on his channel a while back. And yeah, there's a long story to this one. I won't bore you all to death, but long and short of it, I ordered it from World of Books with another title, and it took forever to come, and it never turned up. So I emailed them and said, look, it's not here. Can I please have the disc still? I still want it. And all they did was just automatically refunded me, even though they had the disc still in stock on their website. But it like doubled in price to what I paid for it. So yeah, I never got it. So anyway, condensed story down. I ended up going to I went onto the CEX website and ended up paying slightly less for it, to be fair, on there, even with the postage. And that is Flight Plan. So yeah, I'd forgotten how good this one was. I had a real good time with this one. I watched it the other day before I went to work. And yeah, it's really good. If you haven't seen this one, worth checking out. I won't give you the full details, but the basic outline of it is Jodie Foster's basically got this, she's in Berlin and she's having to fly home after the death of her husband. This all happens in the first sort of like 10 minutes on this plane with her daughter. And essentially she wakes up after falling asleep on the plane and her daughter's gone missing. So yeah, I won't say too much more than that. All that I'd say is I really had a good time with this one. I really enjoyed watching this one again after so many years, and it's definitely going to be kept in the collection. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one and the rough idea of that sounds interesting, worth checking out. I think it was about £6 on CX. So this one I watched the other night. So I've been watching a few of Andy's videos at Forgotten Waters Movies, like I mentioned I think previously, and this one stood out to me. Ordered it through Amazon. And that is The Legend of Billie Jean. Yeah, I had a great time with this one. I thought it was really good. I'd never seen it. I'd sort of seen the cover around a few times, but I had no idea what it was about. So give it a try the other day. Real good time. It's one of those sort of like, movies you can throw on. Pretty easy to watch. Sort of this, almost like a cult classic, I suppose it will be, or is now by now. But yeah, if you haven't seen that one, worth looking into The Legend of Billie Jean. So again, not to give too much away, but the basic outline of this one is that her brother, who's a very young, a young Christian Slater, I think it is. If I'm wrong, I'll try and put it across the screen, but I think it's a young Christian Slater. He's basically got this bike, and these guys essentially take it and wreck it, and she goes to go and get the money to repair it off of the guys. And all hell breaks loose after that, basically. I won't go too far into it, but yeah, that's the general setup for that movie. So this is another one I picked up, which I've watched since, and this is The Big Chill. So this is probably quite an old movie now, 80s something, I think it is. I hadn't seen it before, so first time watch for me. I had a good time with it. I thought it was really good. The only thing I would say is, by the time it finished, I probably could have done with another half hour, to be fair. Like, you get to know these characters so well, and yeah, it was one of those stories, you're just following people around, like, and interacting, but the characters are developed so well, you're just sort of really interested in what they're doing and like what the story's like. So yeah, it's rare that I think that a film should go on longer. Normally you can trim a little bit off, but this one I probably could have sat there and watched another good half an hour of this movie. When it finished and the credits started rolling over a scene, I just thought, oh, it's such a shame it's finished. But yeah, good movie. These 30-somethings, again, I'm not going to give too much away, but these 30-somethings all gather after a tragedy and hang out at this house, and they just sort of get to know each other again after being apart for a few years. It's kind of like, the premise of Friends, the TV show, where you got this group of like young friends. Imagine if friends were that much older, in their 30s, and they all sort of got back together again. but it was in the 80s, if that makes any sense. It's sort of what this film's doing, in my thought, when I was watching it. But yeah, I had a good time with it. So this one was a 50p bargain from CX, and I think when I bought it, I said I bought this one basically just to blow up on a big projector screen I've got, Man on a Ledge, and yeah, it did what I wanted it to do. It had a few scenes there looking down, you know, that were really sort of really immersive on the big screen. The story's okay. It was kind of like, it starts off really well, and then it sort of like dips in the middle a bit for me, and sort of arguably tapes off towards the end a little bit. But for 50p and the sort of visuals you get from this one, couldn't grumble too much. So this one was an Arrow title I picked up this month, which I really enjoyed, and that one is Over the Edge. I'd never seen this one before. So if you've seen the movie, what is it called? I think it's called The Outsiders. Let me check, bear with me. Yeah, so if you've seen a movie called The Outsiders, which I know is getting quite a bit of recognition now, it's not a million miles away for a similar type of tale with this one. So yeah, it follows these sort of like school kids who are basically bored, pushed to the edge of, you know, the parents are kind of, parents slash the police, law enforcement are basically not helping matters in the way that they treat these kids. And everything sort of like simmers and simmers and simmers and then starts boiling over in terms of what actually they end up getting up to and what they do. Like I said, I never want to give too much away, but if you know you like The Outsiders, like over there, I'd say worth looking into that one, because there's a good chance you might like that one as well. So this one, I think I did give a few minutes of time to one of the videos I'd done previously anyway, but I'll recap it just quickly again. So that was Agnes of God. So this one, yeah, I think since I've done this one, I think I've seen basically, is it Immaculate, the new film that's come out? I've not seen it yet, but I've heard I think it's a very similar outline of premise, a nun that's pregnant. So this one was back in, I want to say late 80s, early 90s, I'm not sure. This one was basically a same idea as far as I know. I don't know what happens in Immaculate whatsoever, but yeah, this one here is the young nun becomes pregnant very early on in the film, so it's no spoiler really. And yeah, there's this woman here who's sent in to investigate as to how and why that's come about. And it's a really good mystery drama. But yeah, I've spoken about this one before, so I won't spend too long on that one. And then this one, I can't remember if I've said about this one already. This was a £4 sort of like CEX roll of the dice, Soulman. So Soulman with Samuel Jackson and Bernie Mac. Now I hadn't really had much previous experience with Bernie Mac. Obviously Sam Jackson's in so much stuff. I've seen lots of his films. Again, it's another one of those comedies where I daren't admit, but I had a much better time than I expected I was going in with this one. It's not the best comedy you're ever going to watch, but there's a few scenes in here where Bernie Mac just absolutely had me in stitches. Like there's a medical examination scene in this, which I still think about now and makes me chuckle. But yeah, it was worth a watch for £4. It was really worth a watch. Good comedy. I would say I definitely watch that again. So it's staying in the collection. So yeah, so hopefully that's yeah, you would have seen all the pickups there that I picked up throughout the month. If there's anything in there that I haven't covered, then it's either that I haven't got to it yet, or it was just okay, or it's something that I've watched fairly recently anyway. So yeah, that's the sort of monthly roundup video. So yeah, if you like this style of video, then let me know down below. There's just so many to then pull back off the shelf this month, and I thought I've already covered them in the previous pickup videos anyway. You guys have seen them, and if you haven't, you can always go back on the playlist and have a look. That way you'll know where I picked them up from, roughly how much I paid usually. So if you're interested in that side of it, feel free to go back and go over the pickup videos. But other than that, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.